FNaF news. I'm your host, the TNT Muffin, and today we're going to be talking about Funko, Youtooz, Hex, the FNaF 2 movie, and more. Starting off with the Hex news, Dawko has just revealed some new plushies, starting off with the moon. This is one of the daycare attendant plushies. I believe eventually we'll also be getting the sun as well, and this is our first in-person look at the moon, which I think looks pretty good. It does have a pretty decent amount of detail on it. I think the face looks pretty accurate to the moon. Unfortunately, it does seem to have a lot of printed on color, but maybe that will be changed later. But I think it looks pretty good. He also showed us a new look at the Bon Bon hand puppet plush, which I think looks really good. This, I assume, will be the final version of the plush. I think they did a great job with it. It's been changed a bit since last time, I believe. Definitely been changed a lot since the first time we saw it. Such a big improvement has been made to this guy. I think this is actually a really sweet product. It's been way too long without an official Bon Bon hand puppet, so I'm excited for this. Another sister location plush he showed us was the Ennard plush. This is, I believe, an early prototype of it because it looks pretty wonky, but it does have a removable mask, which is pretty nice. I am gonna be honest here, I do think it looks pretty bad at this point. It's completely printed on color for all the detailing. The face is a weird shape. It's got that weird little lip thing also, just like the Funko plush. So far, a lot of issues, but I do think in the end this can be a really cool plush, and I'm excited to see the final product. And I believe this is our first time getting Ennard merch with no mask on. I mean, we got that jump scare Ennard mystery mini before where the mask is open up, but this one you can actually take it off completely, so that's pretty interesting. Continuing on with the plush news, Youtooz has just released two new ones, which are Grim Foxy and Shadow Mangle, which are only going to be available for a few more days. They have just released a new wave of merch with these two plushies from Help Wanted, as well as all of the FNaF 3 action figures, which include Springtrap, Watermelon Chica, Phantom Foxy, Phantom Freddy, and Phantom Chica. Unfortunately, all of these things are only available for 7 days, and I believe they were released a couple days ago, so only like 4 days left or something like that by the time this video releases. So if you want these guys, get them quick. I'm honestly not a big fan of the plushies. I don't like the plushies, so I don't know if I'll get them, but I might just because they're limited time. But the figures I really like. We have gotten some in-person looks at some of the figures, I think. Like, I saw that Phantom Foxy figure, and the paint, honestly, didn't look very good. But in the product images, it looks very good. So, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen with that. Hopefully the paint ends up okay when people actually get them, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Some more figures releasing. We've just gotten some images of Funko's new FNaF movie figures that will be releasing as a part of FNaF's 10th anniversary. So these figures are based off of the animatronic designs from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. We've got Freddy, we've got Bonnie, we've got Chica, and we've got Foxy. Luckily, they are a bit different from the original FNaF 1 Pop figure designs. As you can see, no more upper teeth, which is great. Foxy has some golden teeth, which is fun. Bonnie's got his guitar, Freddy's got his microphone, Chica's got her cupcake, and Foxy's got some weird fluffy fur. It's also nice to see they're more accurate. Like I said, the upper teeth are gone, and also Bonnie actually has no freckles, which, with figures recently, has not been happening. Like, Youtooz and Funko both keep giving him freckles. I'm so glad this finally doesn't have them. But yeah, I think these are actually pretty cool. I really hope they do this again with the FNaF 2 movie. Maybe we'll finally get some toy animatronic figures. Some FNaF 2 movie news here is that we've got some new actors. There's gonna be Teo Briones, or Teo Briones, I don't know. He's going to be a supporting role in the movie. We've also got Jaquan Monroe Henderson, who is going to be cast as Robert in the movie. And we've got Billy Slaughter, who will be also a supporting role in the movie. So we don't know what these characters are going to be doing. We know one of them is going to be named Robert, our second FNaF movie character named Bob, which is kind of funny. This Teo guy, some people were saying he looks like Garrett, so they think that maybe Garrett's not dead and this is going to be an older version of him. Definitely don't think that's likely. I don't think we have really any idea who these people are going to be. Billy Slaughter, I could maybe see being like an assistant manager at the pizzeria, or even like one of the security guards. Gives us pretty similar vibe to Bob. Maybe he's Henry. Maybe he's, I don't know. Actually, while editing this video, I realized this guy is like almost definitely gonna be playing a younger version of William Afton. I mean, his name's William Slaughter. It's perfect. He's definitely gonna be younger William Afton, right? There's also a bunch more FNaF 2 movie news, like casting calls and some leaks, which do reveal a little bit more about the movie. I'm not gonna go in depth about those today. I think I'll save them for a separate video, but I will cover them eventually. Pretty interesting piece of merch news here is that Five Nights at Freddy's has collabed with ROUND1, currently just in Japan, where they're going to be having some plushies, pins, and these little light things. If you don't know what ROUND1 is, it's basically security breach. Like, they've got an arcade, they've got bowling, I believe they've got food. It's just like a Dave & Buster's type thing. And I believe these are prizes you can win there. I don't know if they're gonna be in the, like, prize area where you can turn in tickets for them, or if they're gonna be in claw machines and stuff. But some exclusive FNaF merch coming to ROUND1, that's very exciting. Like I said, I believe this is currently just in Japan, but I do believe it will eventually also come to the US if it's not coming to the US on release. I'm not exactly sure the details, but either way, FNaF stuff coming to ROUND1, that's pretty fun. Another surprising collab is that Five Nights at Freddy's is doing a collaboration with a Mexican candy brand called Vualá, and there's going to be 10 keychains, 8 clips, 8 figures, 8 glow-in-the-dark figures, a 35-piece puzzle, and 15 suction cup figures to collect. I basically read Johnny's tweet word for word there. It seems FNaF is branching out a lot more internationally, like we had that thing in Japan I just mentioned, and now we're getting some stuff in Mexico, so that's really exciting. This is really cool to see. I do unfortunately think this might be a bit difficult for us in the US to get a hold of, but either way, this is very exciting to me. On the train of candy, FYE has just released a new flavor of chocolate bar, a surprise flavor. We did just recently get the surprise soda, now we're getting a surprise flavor. I don't know if it's going to be the same flavor as the soda was, or if it will be something entirely new. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. It's been a bit since we've gotten a chocolate bar from FYE. I believe it's been like a year, so I am pretty excited to try this thing out. I'm curious what it tastes like. Now for some book news, it's now been confirmed that the Ultimate Guide version 2 releases on September 16th of next year. That is a very long time from now, so that date probably will end up changing. But a second Ultimate Guide is going to be coming out, which sounds pretty interesting. I thought the original Ultimate Guide was a pretty interesting thing, and this one I assume is going to be the same thing, but with a bunch of stuff added in. I know there's going to be Into the Pit, some new Secret of the Mimic stuff as well when that game releases. So I'm pretty excited to see that. Really cool thing here with books is there's going to be this thing called Five Nights at Freddy's Secret Artifact, which will be releasing on October 7th, 2025. So once again, very long from now, but the description seems pretty cool. It says, this collection of artifacts gathered from the shadows by the employees of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental, and Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex serve as a record of these events. Each relic tells a story, a testament to the strange and terrible events that occurred here. It's a little hard to tell what exactly this will be. Of course, it's going to be artifacts from different FNaF locations and a little story about that artifact, but I'm unsure if it's going to be just like pictures of things in the book or if there'll be actual physical things that come with it. I'm leaning towards it probably being just pictures like blueprints or files and stuff like that, maybe photographs. But it would be really cool if they had physical things they gave us. I don't believe the listing here says anything about whether it will or not, but books like that do exist, where they come with little things. Like, I know I used to like Lego books that come with a little minifigure. So if they had anything like that with this, where it's like a little piece of an animatronic or something along those lines, that could be so sick. And then the last book thing here is that the Five Nights at Freddy's Tales from the Pizzaplex graphic novel #2 will be released on September 2nd, 2025. So all of these book things not happening until very late next year, but you know, nice to get a jump on what's going to be happening. And with that, that is all the news we have today. So, if you want to subscribe, you can click the button on top of my head. If you can watch one of my last FNaF news videos, you can click that button over there. And if you want to see some other video I made, you can click that button over there. And I'll see you when we get some more news on Youtooz.